loves, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nina, and today I'll be sharing hair care secrets from some of the most iconic women of the 1960s. Hair care in the 60s looked very different from today. Conditioner as we know it wasn't widely available or commonly used, and advice on specific products wasn't the norm. Instead, women relied on habits, protection, and oils to keep their hair healthy. That's why when celebrities of the era were asked about their secrets, they shared surprisingly attainable tips, nothing you couldn't try at home. Some of these practices were way ahead of their time, so I'm sure you've heard about some of these before. But the question is, have you ever tried one of these? The first tip comes from the hair goddess herself, Cher. This advice was featured as a response in her column Dear Cher for 16 magazine. This is what the reader asked. Dear Cher, I think you have the most beautiful hair in the world. I'd give anything if my hair looked as lovely as yours. I've got a real fried wig. My hair is dry and bushy, and it looks terrible after every shampoo. Can you give me any suggestions on how I can make it more manageable? Cher responded with a complete hair care routine. I found a good brushing with your head down with a natural bristle, not nylon, every morning and night helps to solve dry hair problems. As you know, I'm a big advocate of natural bristle brushes because they help distribute the hair's natural oils down to the ends, making hair shinier and healthier. Then she continues saying, try an olive oil or baby oil massage once a week and then wrap your hair in a towel dipped in very hot water and wrung out. So perfect advice, we do need oils to penetrate into our hair shaft and sort of get back all that hydration that makes it look healthy. Now, olive oil is natural and works well for very dry hair by softening it and reducing friction. However, it doesn't penetrate deeply into the hair shaft. It does penetrate, just not as deep as it could. Baby oil, on the other hand, is mineral based and it doesn't penetrate in the hair shaft at all. Instead, it seals in moisture, making hair look smoother and healthier. If I were to follow Cher's advice today, I would keep the olive oil as a monthly deep treatment and the baby oil as an occasional seal on my ends after styling. I'm not saying this is bad advice, it's actually really good. At the time, it was the best option you had, but nowadays we have really accessible hair masks that are better for your hair, that will penetrate deeper into it and help it hydrate even more. And they are also easier to clean from your bathtub and just more convenient in general. Then she continues saying, wash the oil with a mild shampoo and use a creme rinse afterwards. At the time, a mild shampoo meant one that removed oil without drying your hair out completely, which is still great advice. Creme rinse, on the other hand, was a thinner post-shampoo hair product designed to smooth, detangle, and add shine. It became more popular and widely used in the mid-70s and eventually evolved into what we now call conditioner. Now we have the ultimate hair icon, Brigitte Bardot. In one magazine article, she says, I wash my hair every 15 days with an ordinary shampoo. But above all, I go to the hair salon to have my hair brushed with dry shampoo once a week. That may sound extreme, but it makes sense in context. Brigitte's natural hair color was brown, and heavily bleached hair typically needs more time between washes. And it's also true that in the 1950s and 60s, most women washed their hair once a week anyway, so it's not exactly scandalous. Although I think it's impossible for me to go 15 days without washing my hair. I don't think I'm capable. She also mentions going to the salon once a week to get her hair brushed with dry shampoo. Back then, dry shampoo was powder based, similar to talc or baby powder, and it was applied with a brush to absorb oil and add volume. This makes sense given how much teasing and styling she did. Like, you wouldn't do all those beautiful updos and those gorgeous hairstyles just to take them off after 2 days. But it's also true that when you search for pictures of Brigitte Bardot, you see her in plenty of different hairstyles, which I think was meant for her to disguise the oiliness and the stiffness from wearing dry shampoo. She also says, "When I'm filming, the on-set hairstylist gives me 100 brush strokes every morning. That's all." She says it casually, like it's the most normal thing in the world, but when done properly, brushing can increase blood circulation to the scalp and it supports hair health. You don't have to do exactly 100 strokes, but you can keep in mind the idea of movement, scalp stimulation, and some gently detangling. Next is the lovely Pattie Boyd. No matter what photo you see of her, her hair always looks shiny and healthy. It is clearly very natural, but she also gives advice that is incredibly ahead of her time. This article is from Pattie Boyd's Beauty Box, which was her column featured in 16 magazine, and it says the following. First off, cleanliness is the #1 beauty secret when it comes to long hair, or any hair, I suppose. I usually wash my hair once a day. I dry it in a clean linen towel, then carefully and gently comb all the tangles out. So as you can see, she washed her hair every day, which is completely different from Brigitte Bardot. She also mentions using a linen towel to dry her hair, which causes less friction, and it also makes your hair less frizzy. We now swear by microfiber towels, which is what I would personally recommend. But to think that someone in the 60s was already talking about how to dry it in a gentler way is like it was done yesterday, basically. Then she continues saying, "You will have to experiment with various shampoos to find the one that is right for you. You don't have to use expensive shampoos. There are very good ones in your 5 and dime stores." I do agree that the best way to find the perfect shampoo for you is to experiment. Nobody's hair will be exactly as yours, and that includes what you do for a living, if you exercise or not, how polluted your area is, so there are many factors to consider. And then she finishes saying, "Just before my hair is completely dry, I give it a good brushing with a natural bristle brush. Be sure your hair is not still wet or you will stretch it and break off the ends." This honestly sounds like it was written today. Waiting until your hair is mostly dry before brushing or styling is common practice, so I'm sure you're following that one. If you're looking for advice when it comes to your hair, these tips from Pattie are perfect to start, and I'm sure you'll see a difference. When I started research on Jackie Kennedy's tips, I assumed her beauty secrets could probably be unattainable. But this one, even while luxurious, is surprisingly simple. According to Peter Lamas, her makeup artist, Jackie Kennedy often slept on a silk pillowcase or with her hair in an elegant silk scarf to help maintain her blowouts. She would use a silk scarf to sleep and a silk pillowcase, Lamas said to the outlet. If you sleep on cotton, it roughs up your hair. Silk pillowcases are still celebrated today because they are gentler on both hair and skin, and also because they absorb less oil and less bacteria, helping them stay fresher for longer. While they are considerably more expensive than cotton, they are a wonderful long-term investment for sure. Now let's go with Sophia Loren. She's breathtakingly beautiful and she wears confidence like no other. If you search her beauty secrets, olive oil comes up again and again. Italian screen siren Sophia Loren was stunningly beautiful in her 1960s heyday and still is now. Her secret? Olive oil. Sophia's Mediterranean diet ensured that she was able to include at least 2 tablespoons of the stuff in her food every day, while routinely rubbing a small amount into her skin kept her complexion glossy and moisturized. Personally, I wouldn't use olive oil on my face, but I think it works beautifully on very difficult dry areas like the elbows and the knees. Now, adding olive oil to the meals? Yes, please. Hair is made of protein, but it relies on healthy fats like the ones olive oil has to support shine, flexibility, and reduced dryness. That is why olive oil is often associated with skin elasticity and overall glow. She also emphasized drinking plenty of water, which is honestly the best beauty advice you'll ever get. Last but not least, we have the amazing actress Margret. While talking about her hair with Lady Elaine, she said, "I like variety. Sometimes I hide my hair completely under a hat and it gives me a whole new feeling. I had one boy tell me that when he'd come to take me out, he never knew how I was going to look. I like that. When I lightened it last year, I looked and felt like a girl." While this isn't traditional hair care advice and while she didn't frame it as such, I love to include this hair care secret in this video. Hats protect your hair from sun, wind, pollution, and overwashing as they allow you to rest your hair while still feeling styled. If you don't typically wear hats, maybe hair care can be your excuse to start. Those were all the tips I wanted to share today, and I was honestly surprised I already follow most of them. What about you? If you have any beauty secrets you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments so we can all learn from each other. That was everything for today. Thank you so much for watching and for being here, and see you on the next one. Bye!
But they sure got some cuties in corrects.